So what's up, culture?
What's good, culture?
What's up?
We back for another Tipsy Talk Tuesday where we discuss everything from pop culture to politics. My name is Jaren.
I'm
These
Rashad.
people,
And I'm Celeste.
and we are here to just have some conversation and some drinks and have a good time and have some discussions. So before everything else, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel, it boosts our where people can see us. And hold on, Natalie. Okay, and join our Patreon at Up Culture and our Instagram at everything_upculture. And we're gonna start off with the what do you mean?
What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Said you're running out of time. What do you mean?
This means so I'm gonna let Rashad go first. You wanna go first or last? First or
I can go
last?
first.
Okay.
I found this picture on Pinterest, and it just kind of stuck out to me. Um, it's interesting because what I took from it was that they're in an art gallery where they're supposed to be kind of appreciating the moment, and instead everyone is like into their phones. And I feel like that is like the representation of what's happening all around me every day, including myself. Sometimes I can be so withdrawn from a moment, and I'm so in tune with Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, text messages, phone calls, that I don't appreciate the simple, beautiful things that are around me. And I miss a moment.
Oh man, that I didn't even realize they was at an art gallery till just now. Like I don't know why I thought they were at an airport.
Or
Or a
like
train
a
station.
like
That's what I initially thought.
not a
Yeah,
bus, but like a train station is what it
yeah.
but
I
it's
just realized they were at an art gallery,
mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna go last. Go ahead, Celeste. What you think?
I 100% agree with Rashad. Um, when I saw the picture, it's one of those things where social media and our phones distract us so much that there could be somebody getting robbed right next to us, or you know what I mean, it could be the worst situations right next to us and we wouldn't even notice because most people are always in their phones. And it kind of reminds me of the meme where there's this older lady at a concert and all these people around her are sitting there with their phones out and she's just sitting there just soaking in the moment and just appreciating the nostalgia and just the moment within itself. And so it's just a reminder for me personally. That's something that I do try to do now because I used to definitely be that person. I want to record. If any of my friends get Alzheimer's or if I get Alzheimer's, I promise you, I'm gonna remind you. I'm gonna remind you what you
That's
did
dead
on
ass.
this day. I've got all the memories, and so that's a beautiful thing. But also, I realized that certain moments I didn't fully be able to just appreciate and take in the moment because I was in my phone. So that is something I definitely am conscientious of now, because that's what you see. Even when I was like a server or bartender, that's one of the things I used to notice. Families will be out to dinner together and nobody would be talking to each other. Everybody would be on their phones,
I hate it.
just in the lost in the matrix.
I
So
hate it.
that's what that picture just tells me. Like they're in the matrix, just lost in the sauce.
Yeah, that's. Hold on, I'm gonna wait for him to get back.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut y'all off, but I found this cool ass thing called phone gel at Marshalls the other day,
Oh,
and it literally
That's
you put your phone in there,
and you
and
set
so
a
people
timer.
relax and enjoy, like, just being around each other. And what me and my friends do, the first person who opens the vote to get to the phone, they have to pay for the brunch, or they have to pay for the next round of shots, or they have to read their messages out loud. It's a fun, interactive way to kind of like just be conscientious of the fact that your phone is controlling the narrative. So I just wanted to kind of point that out. So if anybody was interested in like this concept, it's a very cool thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely people don't realize that they're walking around like zombified. They don't really realize that. But yes, some people been zombies for a long time. Anytime me and Jacory go on a date, we do not touch our phones. We do not get on the phone or nothing for the whole date, like especially dinner. It's over. Unless I'm taking a picture of him or something, it's over. But what I will say is I noticed one thing that I noticed, and I found it ironic, that they made art out of the people in this art gallery who were ignoring the art. You know what though? What's so crazy is historically we've been doing this. You know, as time goes on, they used to say the same thing about newspapers. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody talks to each other on the train anymore. They all read their newspaper and da 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 da. It's just anything. It is people. Some people want social contact, and some people want to be to themselves. So if you give them anything, a book, a magazine, a puzzle, anything that can get them to where they don't have to speak to other people or engage, that's what they're gonna choose. And a lot of people,
is it a bad?
To me it's a neutral thing. It's not necessarily good nor bad, because that's just that in their nature. If they're just a shy person and don't really, know how to converse. It's kind of like that person that goes to the party and pretends to be on their phone just because they don't know what else to do with themselves. It's kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? It's
like
really
living
neutral.
in the Bay, we have a train system, right? So when I first got here, I used to notice that people would wait for the trains, have their AirPods in, like be focused on their phones or magazines or newspapers, et cetera, et cetera. And I thought it was just hella weird. We're all from the South, where you're raised when you walk in the room, you speak to someone. It's just being courteous, being polite. Like my mom goes to the grocery store and makes friends. It's the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
But I got to thinking, like, damn, this is the 1 hour they have before they have to literally be on for 8 hours and talk to people and listen to people and be a problem solver or a fixer. And what if this is their 1 hour of the day where they can just simply find peace and silence and
exactly.
And so I always have a love-hate relationship when it comes to the dialogue of being on a phone, because it's like, yeah, you can miss out on moments, but sometimes it's worth missing out just to have a little bit of peace so I can shut the fuck up.
And it is time for Tipsy time. Tipsy time. Tipsy time. Tipsy time. Tipsy time. Tipsy time. See you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Yes, to all the good things.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have a game. Of course, we play the game through each segment, through the whole show. And today's game better be good because I paid for it and I don't play by my money. But it is called Drinking Game.
All right.
It's so subtle.
Clever.
And it says that the game is called Never Have I Ever. You get a lot of options. You got starter. Hold on. Oh,
I want the hard.
I clicked on it by mistake. And the first thing that came up said tasted sperm.
They nasty.
They nasty.
That's the first question.
I was gonna click dirty, but I'm gonna go harmless.
They said, "Oh, you want dirty?"
I clicked on all questions like shuffle mode by accident, and that's the first thing that came up. So I'm scared of shuffle mode.
Yeah.
Okay, but we'll decide as a group. Do y'all want
ruffle some feathers?
Do y'all want harmless, dirty, or shuffle mode?
I want the most toxic one.
Yeah,
That would be dirty.
you know, shy. I'll go with dirty. I don't like to play it too safe. I'll go with dirty, but I don't know if I want.
I mean, either drink or tell the truth.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna start with you, Rashad. Let's see, dirty. Had drunk sex.
How many fingers?
No, you just saying have I ever had drunk sex?
I'm saying I got to put a finger down, right?
No,
You got an easy.
it's not that.
Never have I ever had drunk sex. I have had drunk sex. So do I drink?
They didn't. Hold on, they didn't clarify. Hold on, let me see something.
So normally I'm used to
Done any of these things mentioned, then you'll have to drink. Good luck. So yes, you do have to drink because you had drunk sex. Okay, Celeste.
I think everybody should drink.
Why everybody got to drink for your question?
Because
I will.
Drunk
I
sip.
took a sip.
Sip, sip.
Alright. Celeste. So it says, never have I ever woke up to a blowjob. So I'm gonna change that from blowjob to just head.
You're right. I have.
You woke up to some head.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I need to drink, right?
Breakfast in head. Amen.
As you should. As you please.
Okay. And let's see. You a messy bitch.
You know I know your life, and you know my life. So I want to know what's the question.
Let's hear it, Jaren.
It says licked a girl.
I'll drink with you.
I'll drink with you too.
Woo! This worse than them exposed me pages in high school. I'm gonna need you to not.
You're in my business. That's what you're not gonna do.
It's heavy. This is why you don't pay for apps.
Yeah, because this is what you get what you pay for. My God.
I got you, ma'am.
Okay, so that game is cool. It's something. Anyway, I'm gonna play that game throughout the whole thing, and if you've done any of the things, you can drink along. So if you did any of that, drink 3 times. Okay. So it's time for Up on Culture.
Get up.
Up on Culture. First of all, okay, so the first story is that Jay-Z dissed Kim Kardashian in a song. I have not heard this song. Have you guys heard the diss?
I listened to it, and he didn't say nothing. It was something about like get a queen like a Kardashian, always on the come up, something like that. And in my head, it wasn't a lie. So is it a diss?
I mean,
what was the lyric again?
Get a queen like a Kardashian. They always on the come up or something like that. I'm finna Google it right now and give y'all the accuracy.
Okay. Yeah, this can be the truth. A lot of disses are the truth. That's part of why it's like gotcha, and you know what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is it a diss if it's the truth?
Right. I mean, yeah, it can be. It can be. If you saying something, talking down on a person, and it just don't happen to be true, it's still a diss.
Facts is facts.
Yeah. But I mean.
Oh, come be my Kardashian, queen of the come up.
Oh, okay.
That's a diss.
I don't think that's
I don't think it's a lie.
I don't think it's a lie, and I don't think it's a diss. Like,
I don't think so either.
Listen, I would if I was dating up, I would date a Kardashian because they on the come up.
No, they're on the up and up. That's the thing. You're gonna come up off of being associated with them. The Kardashians, they make money.
What he's saying is that they pursue men in the attempt to have a come up. This is what we know. If you know what you know,
But
you know
I
what
just,
you mean.
but who though? Who can I think of that has
Everybody
more
she done
money
been,
than them?
everybody Kim Kardashian have been with, that been either at her level in fame or it's somebody that
But
she can
as
come
she
up
should
with.
though, as she should,
And she
because I feel
should.
like part
But
of
it
it
is, but
was
it is,
she knew where she was going. So as a woman, why would you date anybody that's not as successful as you or
yeah.
more successful?
I mean, beyond that, it's just I just don't. In my head, I think when I think of a diss, it's like it ain't below the belt. It's a fact. Like you fuck Ray J on a sex tape. That's how you got famous, and then you put your whole family on. Y'all monopolize off that. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
fact. Like you
Well,
can't.
It's a
when we
fact.
go way back
And
like that,
so
then
like
yeah.
that's where it all started. Like out of all the things that Jay-Z could have probably have said, like that, it wasn't even vulgar and it wasn't even that deep.
Yeah.
It was just like basic common knowledge type of thing. And
Yeah.
he's
It's
friends
just
with
my
them. Like they were friends. So it's kind of like he probably knew some of their business. He could have said some people.
yeah, he could have said way worse, but I still see it as a diss because I believe he's saying that she's the queen of the come up. She's the queen of going after men who she can come up off of, and that's what he meant. That's how I read it, and I
Yeah.
know I think
This is true.
that's just how it is. That's literally what he's saying, and no woman really would want to hear that, like that you date niggas so you could get clout or you marry men for clout.
I feel like you can say no woman want to hear that, but like
I
they
don't
probably
want to
heard
hear
that their whole career.
that. I
Like
mean, not that I'm pretty sure she's Dave Chappelle, wiping her tears with money, but you know what I'm saying. You don't want to hear that. You really don't want to hear that, especially said publicly about you. But
I mean, the way I look at it, Kim and Kanye getting a divorce, right?
mm-hmm.
Kim is standing to make $1 million or more from whatever prenup they got. Kanye gets nothing. Kanye gets nothing from the prenup. She gained something. So in my opinion, that's a come up.
But I thought she made more than Kanye though.
And she does.
I was
Well,
gonna say her
actually,
net
no.
worth is more than Kanye. I
No,
thought.
no, I think Kanye now makes more. He got like a deal with Gap and some other people like that and set him up. I think he worth $1 billion now.
Okay.
Either way, no this. All I'm saying is it's the truth.
Yeah, I agree that it's the truth. With the only thing we're not in agreement on, I guess, is it a diss, which I think it is.
And I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like Kim is the type of person that you're not gonna do a sex tape if you can't take any sort of backlash. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like something like Jay-Z saying something like that was probably no sweat off her back because it was just like,
Sure.
okay, whatever. She's probably heard it all at this point. You know what I mean? And she knows. I feel like that's one thing I can say about Kim is like a lot of people will hold a sex tape, against her and stuff like that. But ultimately, like she's going to school for a law degree. You know what I'm saying? She's really going to
She fell far.
she failed it. Okay, well, but that tells you she didn't pay anybody to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because she could have paid somebody. So I look at that like, well, at least she's being honest. So she's trying to do it.
It's not like her.
She's serious.
You
It's
just got
not
that.
And
like
I'm not making excuses for her.
How,
I'm looking at
how
it
she
on
came
both
into
sides. Like
how she came into the game ultimately is kind of like something that probably like you gotta let it roll off you. I'm pretty sure this ain't the first time she been mentioned in the song. Matter of fact, Kanye said something like, "I made that bitch famous." Or like on one of his songs, you know what I'm saying? My girl got rich off of a sex tape. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of this ain't her first time being brought up, and their life is literally they make their money and their brand is built on their truth, I suppose. So in my head, that's why I don't think of it as a diss because I think disses are digs, and I think out of all the shit that people have probably ever said about her, that didn't do shit.
I mean,
More famous.
like
it
it's
just
not as
rhymed this time.
it's not as if her sex tape was not a strategic business move. That thing, it wasn't like we just caught glimpses of her and Ray J in blissful romance. I mean, that was a move. Shit, that was a money move. But like I said, she does certain things to come up, and that's her. I really don't care. But yeah, I really don't care. But if somebody say that she's queen of the come up, and you know that this person is tied to the person that she's about to get divorced to, and it has been said that she used Kanye for a come up, it's really not hard to see how that's a dig. But
for me, I see it opposite. Because to me, Kanye ain't really been, in my opinion. I loved old Kanye. Like, you know what I'm saying? Black as fuck, college dropout, all falls down. Even like Dark Twisted Fantasies, where he was heavy on the production and the beats and the collaborations and talking about weird shit. I love that Kanye. Somewhere along the way, because Kanye ain't never been like the greatest rapper ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? He never said no prolific shit. But
he can make a hit.
When he first came out, he was talking about real shit. And then once he stopped talking about real shit, it started to be more about the production. And I appreciated the music he made and the collaborations he had. But I guess, like, I don't really care about his Sunday choir. Like, ooh, you went gospel now. Like, so I feel like, in a way, she really kind of kept him relevant. Kanye.
Oh yeah,
Kardashian.
I agree, because
relevant, and his breakdowns kept him relevant.
And now that's another thing. I feel like he has had so many mental breakdowns, and I feel like I look at it like this. She either really loved Kanye and stuck through it with him, because it's obvious Kanye has mental health issues. Hello?
Yeah, you bet.
I'm sorry. It's obvious that Kanye does battle mental health issues. And it takes somebody that's actually loving and nurturing and caring to actually deal with that.
Yeah.
And or to be able to help someone through that. So it's either she was really the person that was there at the time and the place that he needed her to be, or that was karma. Like, oh, you thought you were about to get a come up off of him, but this is what you're gonna have to deal with, because you thought, you know what I mean? And it's not like his mental health issues were a punishment to her, but it's more so like you took on more than what you realized you were gonna deal with.
I think she loves him for real. I think, like,
I think they genuinely love each other.
You don't have
a happy birthday.
Yeah,
I think
they genuinely loved each other, and I do. Like I said, I just like you said earlier. It's like, why would Kim be with somebody that wasn't in her caliber? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it has been said that she gets with dudes for a come up. So two things can be true simultaneously, and three things can be true. She could really love this man. She could be seeing that she can get a come up off of this relationship, and clout and notoriety and a power couple.
Come ups to find some real love.
Yeah, and y'all can be a power couple. So, which people in Hollywood want to be power couples. So, you know, it is what it is. But I do think they loved each other, and I definitely think Kim loves Kanye.
So what do we think? Diss, no diss?
I say it's a diss, but y'all say it's not a diss. I say it's a diss.
All right. Yeah. I want to know what the people think.
Yeah, people, what do you think? Was that a diss, or was it not? Was it, let us know. Okay. Let me just, because I don't know what type of comments. Okay. So y'all saw Monique, right? Go in on ladies about their bonnets while she was in her robe. And I told somebody else this. I said two things can be true at the same time.
They can.
She got on her robe.
That's the best way to say it.
She got on her robe. She ain't gonna be having her robe on like that, looking like she just woke up. But whatever. She got on her road. She had no business in her road if she gonna be talking about how people gonna present themselves. And she was right when she said that I don't need to be going nowhere in y'all bonnet.
Can
But
I
I'm
touch it
happy.
first from a male perspective? Can I touch it first? Because I don't know if y'all are gonna have the same or different. But one thing I want to say is, growing up, my grandmother was heavy on emphasizing to my female cousins and siblings, like, you never walk out the house in your bunny. You never go out. Like, when you walk out the door, and even though it wasn't, I didn't have the bunny talk, it was a different type of talk of making sure, like, my teeth was brushed, my hair was brushed. Even
Clean
she used to
underwear.
make sure my ass had Vaseline on it. Don't walk around with no dry ass and then you're going to be digging in your underwear all day. Like, Vaseline your shit. Put some lotion on. Don't be ashy. If I can smell you, everybody else can smell you. It was about presentation and making sure that in the rest of when you walked out into the world, you put your best foot forward. So that was, when I heard it, it did not make sense to me. I think that we are in a different generation, and I think that we are in a more self-accepting, loving generation. I think that women have a platform to say, we're tired of having to advocate for black men or be the poster child for a standard of beauty or whatever the case may be. Women have that platform and that stance to say, like, you're gonna love me for who I am and where I am. Like, I don't need to walk out the door thinking about what anybody else thinks about me. And I think that's a beautiful sentiment. I am not a woman, so I don't know what goes through women's head, but I know that how I was raised, that I base the caliber of a woman based off how she would walk out of a house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I always say, you never know where you're gonna meet your future spouse. Like, you could bump into somebody at a Walmart or at a gas station, and if it's not your future spouse, it's a job opportunity or it's a career opportunity or you never know where you're gonna be and who you're gonna meet, and it could be your time to be elevated. And because you were not prepared and you were not putting your best foot forward, you miss out on the opportunity. That is my perspective of it. And I mean, she was talking about at the airport, and which I believe in dressing comfortable at the airport, but goddamn, like, pajamas and bonnets, like, like, come on, an Adidas tracksuit is cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if women wear like basketball caps, like, I'm cool with that. Like, it could be a vibe, but like a whole bonnet on your head, a whole scarf on your head, like, you finna really walk around with your slippers on, with your first slippers on and shit in the airport, is what my grandma would call uncouth. You lack couth, and that ain't a woman I want. I don't want no woman that could go into you know what I'm saying? I need a woman that's gonna dress like she going to Target, not Walmart. The second point that you made about two things can be true at once, and how she was on like what she was wearing. You right. In my head, it's just like you got on goddamn, like, Bill Gates internet and trying to correct people, but look how you came. But at the same time, she was at home.
I was gonna say she was in the comfort of her own home.
She was in the comfort of her own home, not in public.
This is how I feel about that, though. I'm gonna just say this, then I'm gonna let you finish, like Kanye said. I'm just say this, I'm gonna let you finish. I feel like this, when you cut your camera on, it's the same as you stepping outside. You are presenting yourself to the world. So, yeah, you're in your house, but that don't mean you need to be naked. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean you need to cut the camera on naked. People walk around naked in the house. That don't mean, you start sniffing your drawers or whatever you do in your privacy. It is still I always say, and that's why you'll never see a picture of me nowhere on the internet in no pajamas, in no bonnet, in no nothing, because I'm literally not getting on camera a way that I would not go outside.
I agree with you 100%. I think that two things. One, to her point, she was saying, like, to her point, she felt justified in saying what she's saying, even in her presentation, because one, she was at home. But I think two, she's not from a social media generation where we even think like that.
Yeah.
Where I think that, yeah, and we that people don't see this, but we making sure our light look good. We making sure ain't no wrinkles. We making sure we look good before we come on here, even if it's just on YouTube, even if we only have 4 viewers. This is gonna be on the internet. It's gonna be on the internet forever, and I care about how I look. And I think that sometimes the same way that people in our generation can't necessarily receive what she's saying, I don't think she could necessarily receive that other side of it, if it makes sense. It's just two different generations.
And I think on top of that, I do think that number one, she was at home, but I think that maybe in my own mind, if I can like look like, I think that maybe in a way she felt like maybe I'm leveling with you. At home, yes, I'm gonna wear my house coat, I'm gonna wear my bonnet. That's not because this is my home. This is where I pay my bills. Mm-hmm. So nobody can say anything about how I dress or look when I'm at home. But when I go out into the world, I want to present myself. And so, and that's another thing that I did take away from what she said. It's 2 sides to it. But we do have to think about how white America views Black people. And it's not like we have anything to prove to them, but our ancestors, our old school, my grandmother, you would never catch her at a train station. If she was flying a flight, you would never catch her in a bonnet. I don't care how fresh her press and curl was. I don't care how fresh her hairdo was. It does not matter. Our ancestors, our elders came dressed to the nines. The men weren't sagging their pants. The women were dressed a certain way. And it's not like we have to compare ourselves or uphold ourselves, but it does speak volumes because it just shows we come from a generation of value, pride, and not egotistical pride, but pride of we love the way we love ourselves. We carry ourselves a certain way. We represent ourselves well all the time. And that's what we fought through with segregation and stereotypes and all of that. We fought through that because it's like, but I dress better than you. I'm more educated than you.
That's where Sunday's best comes from. Like even the phrase Sunday's best. Like exactly. In those times, Black people didn't have a lot of good clothes. And so it's kind of like on Sunday, this is the day that we're going to show out and we're going to put our best foot forward and we're going to look our nicest. And I think that was all I felt like she was trying to say. Like, again, from a male perspective, it's hard for me to hear wrong in it. One, because I kind of grew up hearing it. But two, what's wrong with putting effort into how you look? Because I think in my generation, I could look on Instagram and I could be like, damn, she bad as hell. And then I see her out in public and I'm like, damn, it's a motherfucking catfish. Like, you don't look how you look on the internet. And so if you're gonna sell something, if you have a brand, if you look at yourself as a brand, it should match. It should look the same way. If I'm gonna present myself in this fashion on the internet, then I need to look like that off the internet. And I'm not saying you gotta be dressed down, be in couture, your hair always gotta be done, your makeup gotta be done, you gotta have eyelashes. That's not reality. That's not facts. But it's the same effort you put into making sure your lighting was good, your makeup was good, your hair was good. You gave a fuck about this photo. Give a fuck about how you walk out the house, regardless of the aesthetics. Like, all right, let me not look like a bum at least.
Yeah. My thing is, I feel like some ladies are making this into a noble cause. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I don't need to impress anybody. This bonnet is the bonnet of salvation. And I'm like, bruh, it's not though. You got on a shower cap out here, bruh. Like you really look like you finna go to bed. And you're at the grocery store. You're at the gas station. No, you do not need to beat your face and curl your hair and do everything up. But you can at least take the bonnet off. Maybe you can even keep your t-shirt on. Hey, you got on the t-shirt, it's whatever. Throw on some jeans. Not your SpongeBob PJs.
Put a cap on, like,
SpongeBob PJs. pants, not your SpongeBob PJs, not your house shoes, because they're house shoes. So it is just very bizarre to me. And I've noticed that people have become so sensitive and at the same time meaner. It's like everybody's meaner, but yet more sensitive to words and anybody's opinion. So it's like you can't do both. You can't be this tough, oh, I'm gonna say what I want to say, but also don't say that about me. Like you can't be both
I do think
because
that that's the generation we're in, but I also
yeah,
think that
everybody's so much more sensitive, but so quick to be so cruel when somebody is making a point. All she's saying is be presentable. That's not nothing. That's not. Why does
negative,
that make you?
nothing
Why does
negative.
that make you?
Say anything
Why does
negative.
that get you in a mode where you like, bitch, da, 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 like that somebody is telling you to be presentable? My mama, we couldn't leave out this house without earrings on.
Facts. My mama used
It
to smell my underarms before we went to church. Let me smell.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
and ultimately, I think what the issue is now, we as a generation have so much anonymity to say what we want. And I think a lot of the times we argue for freedoms that we don't even care about. It's kind of like you could not even be the girl that walks out the house with the bonnet on, but the fact that someone is challenging you, well, why do you care? Why do I have to? Why can't I just be me? And it's kind of like, on one hand, I get that. Like, if you feel like you don't receive it, just don't receive it. But you don't have to argue that point. But everybody wants to argue a point, and it don't have to be that. Like, if you don't care, you're not gonna care, and you're not gonna stop caring.
right.
Some people gonna receive it, some people not. But I think, and she made a follow up video to kind of re-explain what she was saying and how she was saying it with love. She was just kind of like, ultimately, some of y'all it's gonna take a minute for y'all to catch up. For some of y'all, I'm gonna be the bad guy. For some of y'all get it, and that's okay. But I won't be the person that, you know what I'm saying. You'll never say you never heard this. When you look 10 years down the line and you was in the grocery store and your husband was behind you and you missed out on your husband because you had the damn bonnet on your head. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that we have to think about.
Yeah.
Even as
And
men.
and it's not even a shallow thing.
No,
It's like it just like it looks like when okay, I'm gonna put it like this. When you go out your house and you got on full pajamas and a bonnet, look like you about to go to bed. You look depressed.
Yeah.
That's one. You look like you're disheveled and you're not all the way together. Now, if you take some time and present yourself well, that doesn't mean you're not depressed, but that means you're taking the time to put yourself together. And that's a thing that we talk about in the mental health community, which is staying social, keeping yourself up, keeping your environment clean, and keeping yourself clean and put together.
Me and Celeste say this all the time. Thank God I don't look like what I've been through. Legit. I
feel good.
to look like I've struggled my whole life. We all have our own struggles, but I don't want to fucking walk around looking like fucking desperation and poverty and struggle. Like, who want to look like that?
Yeah, that's all. That's all
No.
that it is.
And I think it also comes from, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it. There are parents and grandparents that instill these values into their children, and there are those that don't. There is nothing wrong with it. However, my mother and my grandmother, like you all said, I cannot walk out the house with pajamas on, house shoes. Why would I wear house shoes outside that I'm going to wear back in my house, first of all? But also, you need to brush your teeth. You need to have some clean drawers on.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because it not even it. You could be meet your wife or your husband, but also you could have a business opportunity. You could have a modeling opportunity. There's so many different opportunities that you could have by just. I mean, and think about it. You're in the airport. Even if there's somebody sitting in first class and you're sitting in coach, if you catch somebody's eye, and I'm not saying that's the goal What I'm saying is
Just
you
never know.
never know who you're going to run into, and you're
So let's.
missing out on opportunities.
I want to play
I
devil's
have,
advocate with you in the
huh?
sense that I said I want to play devil's advocate with you in the sense that there are also mothers and grandmothers and just kind of family members, for instance, being told, "Oh, you fat." You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
even today, me and you talk about my granddaddy all the time. My favorite person ever. Every time he see me, come here, fat boy, come here. Like and it's jokey joke. I don't know if it's a southern thing, but the
It
things
is.
that
It
we
was
say,
for me. It was because
the
I
things
used to
that
be.
we say to our kids instill a mindset. And so when you are told that you're fat, and then you start to connect these kind of synonyms to what it means to be fat, it could diminish your self-esteem. When you think that
Mhm.
you're ugly, when you think that you're too dark, when you think that whatever you think, whatever someone has embedded in you as a character flaw, and you hear it and they make a joke out of it, it's not a joke. And what you learn is there's a truth to every joke. And how people are joking with you, they really see you like, and you start
Mhm.
to take these things on as your character. And this plays a part in how you live your life. If I believed that I was just fat, I'm a big dude, but I'm cute and I'm smart and I'm talented and I'm hardworking. But everybody doesn't. That takes work. That takes self work to get to where you want to go, and you have to learn your worth. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't have that fortitude. Everybody doesn't have that oppositional positive reinforcement to kind of balance it out. And
Mhm.
that's the reason why people walk around not giving a fuck about themselves, is because nobody ever taught them to give a fuck about themselves. And it's a variation of reasons why people move the way they move. But ultimately, it takes self work.
Yeah.
It does.
Who
And
are
you know what?
you?
And you know what? I agree with you 100%. And I'm gonna tell you something. My grandfather told me something when I was very young. He said, "You start how you're gonna finish." When I went to college, he reminded me, "You're gonna start college the way you're gonna finish college." And I never forgot that, because I was like, okay, even throughout the parties and da da da, if I start out strong, I'll finish strong.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that to anybody going through anything, any depression. I was damn near 200 pounds. I was like 175, almost 180 pounds in middle school. You know what I'm saying? I have lost a lot of weight through the years, but I was on the chubbier side. I'm only 5'5". I sit a little taller, but you know what I'm saying? I went through that when I was younger. I went through that all the way through almost high school. Through high school. You know what I'm saying? I was 173 on a good day, 177 on a bad day. You know what I'm saying? And that's being a 15-year-old girl, you know? So it was tough. So I can level with just about anybody. But what I can say is, when you start your day strong, I don't care what anybody says to you. You speak to yourself in the mirror. I love me. I love who I am. Today is going to be a great day. It's going to be a successful day. I love me. And you put a little, even if it's just a little bit of effort. You smell good. You got some clean clothes on. That's you starting your day strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's you starting your day
If you
strong.
look good, you feel good. If you
If
feel
you
good,
look
you
good,
feel
and you will,
Exactly.
and that's my point in everything that I say. If you start your day off strong, you will finish your day strong 90% of the time. I can't say 100% of the time, because we can't predict the day, but
Yeah.
90% of the time, because you do feel different. You feel a little bit different when you put just, even if it's 5 more minutes into the day, just 5 more minutes into what you put on. You don't even have to think about what you put on. Just put on some clean
Yeah.
clothes, some
Yeah.
clean drawers, brush
That's
your teeth.
my thought. That's my thought. Is that you don't even have to be, because this is a lot of people's argument. Oh, I'm not getting dressed up to go to the gas station. I'm not getting dressed up to go buy a bag of chips. And it's like, nobody said you had to get dressed up, but get dressed. Get
Mm.
people
because
have a hard time
walking
shifting their
outside,
minds. That's the
walking
problem.
outside and walking around Like you're like, if anybody handed you a pillow, you'd be ready. Like that's not healthy. That's
Look
not
like
even
you going to the
healthy
gas
for you.
station, go to bed and shit.
Yeah, that's just not even
Say
healthy
that,
for you.
say that again.
I
What
said
you saying?
you look like you going to the gas station to go to bed and shit. Like
Yeah.
the
Like,
ultimately,
it's
I
like
think.
you should not be everywhere you going sleep ready. That's
See,
just not that's not the move.
I'm gonna be
And
quiet
you
after this, and
don't
I'm
have to
gonna only
dress
say
up to get dressed.
intention matters. I live my life with intentions, being intentional about everything. You can ask me and Celeste, we'll talk throughout the day, and I'll tell her, you know what? One bad moment doesn't have to mean that my day is fucked up. Because it
Yeah.
is so easy for us to have I could have a good day and one person could piss me off. One thing could piss me off. And then all of a sudden, I can allow my whole day to be shifted by one moment. But when a good thing happens, good seems to that you can have a shitty day and then one good thing happen and it overshadows all the bad. So why can't that be the opposite? So being intentional about what you put on, and it's not even to attract anything. It doesn't have to be to gain anything. It's simply I'm mindful about what I'm putting. If you don't want people to see you as a hoe, you won't wear provocative clothes. If you don't want people to view you sloppy, you won't walk out your house looking sloppy. If you don't want people to think you look like a bum, you won't leave your house bummy. But
And
if
that's
you don't
the thing.
care, you don't care. And that's your right.
Like people are trying to control other people's view.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you can't make people see you in your pajamas as elegant. You can't force nobody to see anything other than
What they see.
disheveled, lazy, or tacky. Like you, or whatever it is, the thoughts that come to a person's mind when they see somebody out in their pajamas and body. And you can't, and that's what's really going on. Like people are really mad because that's people's opinion. And they're like, why don't you just mind your business? I'm like, having a discussion. We're having a discussion about a public topic from a celebrity, which is a distraction from real shit, but it is a discussion to be had. Is that appropriate? No, it is not. Okay, so if somebody says no, it's not appropriate and it doesn't look good, if you can accept that, then
just as much as it's your right to not give a fuck about it and want to do what you want to do, it's people's right to have an opinion about it.
exactly.
And people aren't always going to agree with you or like it or have something negative to say, and that's their right to it. So
Absolutely.
I think that I find it's a beautiful sentiment for people to kind of know their worth regardless and to be able to stand in the fact that I'm going to walk outside in my pajamas or a bonnet and my flip-flops or whatever the case may be. If you have that mindset, if you stand in that light, that's okay. That's your right. Can't nobody take that away from you.
Absolutely.
But you also have to be able to receive the fact that someone may have something negative to say about it. But when you know who you are, those things shouldn't even bother you. And it should never be a combative situation, which is why I don't understand why people had so much backlash towards what Monique said. Because the ones that agreed because they're old school or they carry themselves in a presentable way. The ones that disagreed just wanted to argue a point. Like Hit Dog's gonna holler, but the only reason a hit dog gonna holler is because they feel attacked. But if I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck, and I'm gonna read this shit and I'm gonna keep scrolling. I ain't gotta say shit because I'm still gonna do what I'm doing, and I ain't gonna spend nothing. But Hit Dog's gonna holler, and you answer.
It goes right back to what I was saying, that everybody is more sensitive, much more sensitive, yet meaner, but more sensitive over time. It's just like you can't say anything because somebody will get upset and in their feelings. And when they get in their feelings, they're gonna say the meanest thing they can think of. So it's just a very toxic environment, especially on social media. And I've been said this. I said social media has taught me that people will argue about anything. They will argue about anything.
I have a love-hate relationship with it, but I appreciate it more than anything because it creates a space for a dialogue to happen. At the end of the day, whether you agree with what she said, disagree with what she said, or have a completely different opinion about it, it's a dialogue that needs to happen because I don't think that it's discussed enough. This is not like just it's not a world issue, but it's cultural.
It is.
You will never. This is not a conversation that white women will be having.
No.
It's not something that they can relate to. No. It's not something that, you know what I'm saying, even Latino women. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, depending on how, if you come from Spain and have the fine hair where you can wake up and your hair's silky and shit, that might not even be on your mind, on your radar. Going to bed with a bunny, waking up with a scarf, like all of these things. But culturally, this is something that's relevant to black women, and I think the black community, and for black men. You know what I'm saying? How I view women and how I view how women respect themselves is a part of that.
Biggie's killer.
We already knew that, but
yeah. So we already knew it. It was Suge. Anyway, next topic is K. Michelle and the picture that came out of her recently, where people are saying she's basically unrecognizable. Which, if you really look at it, I looked at that picture for a little minute. And I was like, I see K. Michelle. I see K. Michelle. And when I first looked at it, I was like, who? First, I looked at the picture and I was like, what the hell? Like, that don't look nothing like K. Michelle. But the more I looked at it and just stared at it, I was like, okay, I see K. Michelle. But she definitely, I mean, it's Hollywood, whatever, they get work done. She's chiseled at that face. And it could be a combination of makeup and probably some photo editing, probably some surgery, you know, just a combination of just a cocktail of shit that's got her face looking, you know, different from how we first saw her. But what do y'all think? Y'all think like she looked unrecognizable?
Yeah.
So before I read the show flow, I saw the pictures.
Beautiful.
And I was like, the fuck? And I'm looking at them right now, and I'm still like, the fuck? She is unrecognizable. She looks hella different, and it's really weird. And she don't look like her. No. And I think that she was absolutely, positively beautiful, a natural beauty at that. The way she was. It looked like she really lightened her skin. It looks like she had a nose job. It looks like she had some cheekbone fillers. It looks like she did something to her lips. And she looks completely 100% different. Is she still attractive? Absolutely. But is she K. Michelle? No. It's weird. It's weird that Hollywood makes people do shit like this. Look, Kim is a prime example of a woman who was absolutely gorgeous, a natural beauty, a brown-skinned queen, who did this to themselves. And don't get me wrong, this is the work. The work is good, but she looked like what's that other?
It's good as hell.
Reality star, Fetty Wap.
She looked like Moniece.
Fetty Wap baby mama.
Fetty Wap baby
Alexis
mama.
Okay, I can see that.
Like she kind of
see that.
Like she light skinned as hell, and the only reason I know her is looking at this tattoo that I had to go scroll back and really look at. And it saddens me, but at the same time, I mean, I guess when you got money, you can do shit like that. I don't know. If she loves us like this, I love her like this, and I'm just happy that she don't look fucked up.
Yeah, she looks good. She looks good. She look damn good.
My only hope is that maybe she don't keep, because they have a habit of keep going with it. You know? And I get it. I get it. Once you do it, it's maintenance after that. But you know, when you just end up looking like the lion from the Wizard of Oz or some shit, you know what I'm saying? It's just like that's not cool. And you're scaring people and you look like Saw and shit. You know, you're giving people like Saw 6 vibes. And that's just not what you want. You didn't have I know
I'm
you
not
didn't have
a
that
fan
in
of
life.
unnecessary. Like I don't like unnecessary shit, and
Hmm.
I don't feel like it was necessary. Like when it came to her ass, like she got that work done and she had to get it out because it was affecting her health. I can
Absolutely.
understand. I don't know what her ass looked like before the surgery, but you know you wanted a bigger ass and then it affected your health, so you had to like work on that. Okay, understand it. This don't make sense.
A nose job alone can do a lot to a face.
A nose job
A
can change a
nose
whole face.
job, yeah, a nose job can just take you from one place to a whole nother. So when you get a nose job, a chin job, a cheek job, a lip job, you know what I'm saying? At this
We
point,
gonna
you're
say it because
changing
this some light
every
ass shit.
element that makes up your face. So you're not gonna look like you because you've taken everything that makes your face and changed it.
Y'all
So
really want to know why I hate it? I hate it because she a Memphis girl.
yeah,
I know,
And
because
I know that
Memphis
sounds
women
dumb as
are
hell,
some
but
of the
I just hate it
finest
because
women.
it don't sound dumb.
Some of
Memphis
the
women are the realest motherfuckers I never met. Say what you want about Memphis girls. They can be ratchet, they can be loud, they can be ghetto, they can be disrespectful, they can be rude, they can be tough, they can be gangsters, they can be hard, they can be all that shit. But one thing you gonna always know about a Memphis female is she real. And you know what I'm saying? I know some Memphis females. For instance, Lil Chat. Lil Chat ugly as hell. But Lil Chat gonna talk shit like she look like Halle Berry. Lil
who
Chat
gonna say something?
gonna pop her shit.
And who gonna say something?
And
And if
Nobody.
you say
that's
something, I'm coming for your head because you ain't
and that
Exactly.
ready. You
energy,
ain't ready. You ain't ready for
despite the
that
fact
Memphis
that K
game.
Michelle always kind of been problematic, her attitude and her personality kind of always represented what I looked at as a Memphis woman. And so now her actions don't match up to who I guess I know her to be. I don't know her in real life, but you know what I'm saying, that persona, like I don't give a fuck about Hollywood love and hip hop, you being a singer and recording star. Like you from Memphis, so you represent us and you do that shit. And it don't look good.
I mean, I can see the nose job. I can see the nose job. When I saw the comparison pictures, I was like, okay, I can kind of see why she got a nose job. Her nose looks good. You know what I'm saying? But when it came to just, hacking at that thing, hacking at that face, I was just like, you ain't have to go that hard because you're a beautiful woman.
She a
So it's
whole light
like
skinned woman now.
you really
And
didn't
that
have to go that hard. I understand the nose job. I personally want a nose job. So I understand the nose job, but I hope she got a liquid one at least. I
I
hope she don't let nobody cut up in her face.
yeah, because that we had Jaren and I had this conversation before I knew we would even be on the show. And the way I felt was K Michelle was so beautiful to me because she posted pictures of herself, like especially after her surgery and stuff. People there she was like super natural and just like showing you her. She was like in a vulnerable like, and I'm like, this woman is gorgeous. Like Katie Michelle always been bad. She had a NAS even before she got NAS. So that was another example of like, you didn't have to do all that. You had ass before you got more ass, Kate Michelle. So like when I saw when Jaren sent me the picture, I'm like, what? I was like, but Kate Michelle just is naturally gorgeous, like really just beautiful. So I'm like, damn, like the surgery now, whatever she got done, that's her business. She looks good.
she
That
look
I can say.
she
She
looks good.
does not look crazy. She looks damn good. So
Yeah.
she made sure
And
she
it
went
looks
to the right
natural.
people.
I just don't think that
And it looks
added.
natural.
I
But
don't think it
it's like
added anything.
that she doesn't look like her. She
She
doesn't
Yeah.
look like her.
it didn't add anything. You know how some people like when they get work done, it'd be like, you look great. Or when people lose weight, you look great. But then you see some people, they lose weight, you be like, you look sick. Or you see people who get work done, it's like, you look like weird. Like some people is hit or miss.
It's different.
She looks good, but think I don't think it added anything, and that's the sad part about it. It took
Yeah.
away from what I think was already naturally there, And
Yeah.
I don't know. I just sent y'all a picture in a group chat of her.
I saw that, and she looks beautiful.
She
That
looks
looks like
beautiful,
Michelle.
but she doesn't look like herself.
To me, that looks like
And
Michelle.
I think what
That does
ultimately
not look like
really
K. Michelle
bothers
to me.
me
That
is
looks like Michelle to me.
It does
what
not.
really bothers me
You
is
know why?
when we talk about body, she was talking about body positivity and the work that she got done on her butt and trying to live a more healthy life and kind of accept who she is or what she had or just making a mistake doing it. You go through that whole phase of getting your butt fixed and your health right just to go back under the knife is real contradictory.
Well, but you
Yeah.
know what it tells me? What it tells me is K. Michelle has some sort of
Addiction.
somebody has told her that she is not good enough or that there are flaws in her, or she sees something. It may not even be people telling her, but it could be her looking in the mirror and seeing that she wants something different. And so that's why I don't ever condemn or judge women for doing what makes them happy. If that makes you happy, so be it.
Yeah.
Baby, do what's gonna make you happy. Love yourself. But it's the hindsight of that is when you start doing that, there's no end to it because you feel like you're never gonna get to where you want to be. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
My nose doesn't match my cheeks doesn't match my chin, my da da da. Like you start wanting to scope the whole thing. And I want to also put this out so I don't get no backlash later. I'm all about self-work. If you can afford it, I ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna give my
Yeah.
mama some box.
I think everybody here is pro surgery, like
I am
pro
so
work.
If you can afford it, live your life.
Botox,
I'm gonna give my mama some
whatever.
Botox cause you know what I'm saying. She said she was she was getting a little lines and she wanted to tighten that shit up. And I asked her what she for. She said, hell yeah, I would love to. I'm gonna get her some because why? I'm cool with it. You're cool with it. I think that just like with anything else, if you don't know how to set boundaries for yourself, you can become addicted to anything. And that's what
Yeah.
alcohol, that's with drugs, that's with sex, that's with surgery, that's with anything. If you don't know where to stop, you'll keep going.
Surgery most definitely can be even more addictive because you've done something and now you know you got to maintain it because it's not going to the certain things that you get done they either morph or wear off or you know what I'm saying it's not going to be like it forever.
And at
So
the
you
end of the day,
know at this point you know you got to keep tweaking. You got to keep tweaking. And some people and this why when people talked about like Chloe Kardashian, I used to get so irritated because they would be like, she looked so beautiful before, she look a hot ass mess now. And I'm like, you're not helping. You're not helping her by saying she look fucked up now. Because now she's reading these. She's seeing, oh shit, I still look fucked up. Now I gotta go hack it up. I gotta hack it up. I gotta hack it up. Because that's the mindset they're in. Chloe had Chloe not been called the ugly one or the manly one from the beginning, she wouldn't look at how she look now. She been through 17 faces. And that's because people been talking about each and every one of them. Each and every time she get a new face, people going in. So
I don't
she
know
get a
much about the Kardashians. I always knew she was my favorite one.
She get a
I
perfect one.
always said I don't know much about them, but I knew she was my favorite one because she always seemed like kind of the realest from what I could tell. But also, she married Lamar Odom ugly ass, and and for me, it was kind of like, all right, you got to be a real one because that nigga, all right, he looked the way he looked. But the point is, nobody is. For regular people, we either have to do the actual work to change our bodies and be where we want to be, or we have to learn how to love ourselves, or we walk around doing self-harm to ourselves because we don't know how to love ourselves. So if you are fortunate enough to have the resources to change what you don't like, I am supportive of it. I don't always necessarily see what other people see in the mirror, and I can say that wholeheartedly because I could talk to you, Jaren. I could talk to you, Celeste. I could talk to my mom. I could talk to a lot of women in my life. And I think y'all are absolutely drop dead gorgeous, beautiful women, and I wouldn't change anything about y'all. And I would do some very nasty things to you. But if you if you don't see that within yourself, if it doesn't matter how much I love you if you don't love yourself the same way. If you don't see that you are deserving of what people are willing to give you.
Did I tell you something like this the other day, Celeste? Did I tell you something like that? I said, you said something. It's something you want to change.
Talking about surgery, and I was saying
something you wanted to change.
I'm gonna keep it a whole buck.
Yeah.
For the internet.
Yeah, for the internet and everybody. I know that I will reach a very healthy and wealthy amount of wealth, just like all of us. So I think about these things. I'm very intentional about what I say. And the reason why is because this is not Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, K. Michelle. That's not far out of reach for me. In my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm not thinking about BBL. I'm thinking about, okay, when I do obtain a certain amount of wealth, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I won't do anything to myself.
Yeah.
Because I probably will. We both talked about that. As far as our faces, there's not much I would do, not in a like vanity way, but in more so a like, I honestly don't think a surgeon can do more than what God can. That's just my own beliefs. Like, it's like we were saying, when you change one thing, you got to change another because things look offset because God designed your grand design, your divine design. So you're designed and created a certain way because that's the way you're supposed to look. Exactly. So at the end of the day, my point is I can't say I won't do anything.
But you're a brand. If you're creating a brand that, and because looks fade, because bodies fade, because life happens, because anything could happen, this is your bread and butter. This is how you want to make money. So if you have to put a little bit more money into upkeep, that makes sense. It doesn't make sense for
maintenance
a regular person to, the people, because to be honest with you, everybody doesn't care about having the whitest smile or, the nicest hair and the eyebrows and the clothes. That, like, some people, that's not their niche. That they don't care about that. But when you have a brand and you are making money based off of your looks, based off of your body, based off of your hair or your aesthetics or whatever it is that you're making money off of, it has to, in order to create a space of longevity, you have to upkeep it. And for most people, like going to the gym, eating right, drinking your smoothies, updating yourself on your knowledge, updating yourself on, like, whatever the case may be. People are like, there's always natural ways to get the results. But sometimes the deals be coming in too fast, the money be too hot, the things is going on, and you may have to do something in order to get what you need done. I don't knock it one way or another. All I'm simply saying is, as long as, I think this is what I've been preaching the whole show, intention. As long as it's done for the right reason. If you move it in good intention, good intentions will follow. But if you are listening to negativity, then the results will be negative. If you are doing it for clout, if you are doing it for fame, if you are harming yourself and purposefully not loving yourself so that you can have more, it's a slap in the face to God. I think that
he's looking for a rebound.
I think that Kanye is a Kanye ain't never been, he never gave me like fuckboy vibes.
No.
It's like he ain't never been that nigga in my head. Like, I mean, he's a celebrity and he probably do got like females throwing themselves at him, but he a 44, 45-year-old dude. Like he ain't necessarily
Out
like
here going on
just
dates every week
it
and
doesn't make
just
sense.
trying to, yeah,
Um,
Okay,
I agree.
so her name is Irina Shayk or Shayk.
I'm waiting on the text
Irina
message.
Shayk.
she Russian.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Czechoslovakian or okay. I still haven't got
I
the.
just
I
sent her.
believe they are together.
Also, I'm just simply not a fan of propaganda and media. I don't trust what I read
Yeah,
until it's confirmed, simply because
yeah.
news is messy and
Yeah.
people, you know what I'm saying? I find it they're profiting off of very sad times. His mental illness, his divorce, you know what I'm saying? It's like the natural progression of it to you know what I'm saying, oh well he has a new girlfriend to spice up some shit. I just don't believe it until I hear otherwise, because one, I don't know this man, so I really don't care who the fuck he fucking. But two,
That's his
it's
business.
like I know that the media can be relentless and just putting out fake news, because he is in the fashion industry and he does have different business deals, and he could have a deal with this woman and he could be
She
collaborating
could
with
be
her.
a whole model, a whole Russian model, and
And
Yeah.
people are building
you
a
see
whole
photos
story.
of them.
Get this didn't get this story from any like magazine or any news outlet like that. I got it from Murad Morelli, who I get a lot of my celebrity stuff
I
from.
do like him.
Yeah, I like Murad, and
Well,
he's pretty legit.
she's
What
giving me, honestly, I'm looking at her right now. She's giving me a cross between Kim and Amber Rose.
ain't it
That could just
though?
be me. That could just be me though. But she's giving me a cross
No,
between
it's
Amber Rose and Kim.
but it's like I said, it's an exotic. You know what I'm saying? I
However,
think that's what he
she could
likes.
be a
I
whole,
just think
she
that's
looks
what
like
he
a
likes.
whole runway model. She looks like
Yeah,
a whole runway model. So she
I
could
think
be a
he
whole
likes
model.
um,
But she's giving
he
me
likes
Amber Rose between Kim.
I think he likes
She's
like dark
beautiful.
hair, light but tan kind of skin. That exotic kind of, I don't know what island you just came from kind of look. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where you just hailed from. I think he likes that.
She's
But that's
she's
his
a model
business.
though.
I
She's a
was
model
gonna
and
talk about something else,
she's
but
dating
I
soccer.
Hold on, you all are both talking at the same time. I don't know if it's the
I'm sorry, go ahead
connection.
there. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm sorry. I was just saying, I actually was gonna put a different story right there because Rose McGowan came out and she was outing some people. She didn't use any names, but she was just talking about Hollywood and how that is. But I think we'll talk about that next week because I do want to go into detail with that. I want to send y'all a video. So we'll just wait till next week to go into that one. But you go ahead, Rashad.
I was gonna say I'm looking at her track record. So she dated, it looks like a Portuguese soccer player, footballer type dude, European dude, and then she also dated Bradley Cooper. Um, so I just don't
Bradley Cooper fine.
I don't know that Kanye fits into. We looking at what Kanye like, but when I'm looking at seeing what she
What
likes,
he like
Kanye just
Yeah.
don't necessarily
Yeah,
fit
the
into
liquor
that.
both.
seem like her
The
type, but she
liquor
could
is
be
both
trying
sides.
something different.
You right. I don't know. I hopefully this will be a quick segment because I
Yeah, no,
I
I'm over
really
this.
don't believe it.
I'm off this. So y'all
Yeah,
ready to go on to the next topic?
Yeah, I
Next.
just don't believe it.
All
absolutely.
right. So that was all of up on culture, y'all. So let us know any opinions that you have on any of these topics. And we're moving along back to the game. Wow, this game. Okay. Give me a second.
Kanye wants his family. Kanye wants his family back.
I believe that.
I believe that.
I'm gonna be quiet,
But
but I
Kanye
think
wanted the
Kanye wants his family
divorce.
back. I feel like
Kanye was the one
right
who actually
now.
divorced. Kanye wanted the divorce, but he let Kim, you know, be the one who
Sign the
publicly
paper.
did it. But he wanted the divorce more than Kim did. All right, but let's get back to the game. Never have I ever dirty. I'm gonna start off with you, Celeste. Had sex in a classroom.
No, okay. I had a. I don't have a. You know what I'm saying, no, not a classroom, not a classroom. I had to make sure. Do I drink? If I haven't drank, if I
No,
haven't.
you don't. You don't drink because you haven't done it.
Okay.
Okay,
I had to think about.
Sean
You go next.
had sex on a beach, not near water. I have not done that.
Why that couldn't be my answer? Cause I can drink. Well, never mind.
You just told on yourself.
Rashad, okay, had sex on the toilet.
No. I'm a
I
big
would
ass
say,
nigga.
don't be ashamed if you
I'm a
did.
drink
We're
though.
not gonna judge
They
you.
said had sex
We love
in
you
the
no matter
toilet,
what.
but I don't know what that means. So I said on the toilet.
Can we do a second round, please?
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
didn't.
So you know what, baby? We just gotta get it in.
All right. So
We
we
gotta go
going.
get ready
Did
for
I
work.
ask myself one?
Gotta get ready for work.
You said the beach.
Had sex in a park. No,
Celeste.
that was for me.
Oh,
Hold
she's
on.
still drinking.
Okay, let me close this out and open it back up. See if they give me something new.
Don't hide.
Okay, so Celeste had sex several times in a day. I drink with you, girl. My nigga.
Several.
Gonna
Actually, we
inhale the
talked
cup.
about this. Girl, bye. You know too much
Okay,
of my business. You know too much of my business.
you want business. Don't do that.
This is
Okay,
21 years, so okay.
Rashad, have you had
Sharon.
several fuck friends at the same time?
I'm sorry, it was poor connection. I didn't hear nothing.
Have you had several fuck friends at the same time? Like, have you had multiple fuck buddies?
Define several or multiple.
Sorry, 2 or more.
More than two or more than one. More than one fuck buddy
More than one means 2.
at the same time. Okay.
Say what
Drink.
does that mean? What is
Let
several
me
mean? Oh, you say I got y'all
several.
in rotation.
And it asked
Baby,
me,
we got you in rotation, baby.
have I ever watched porn?
You got a
That's
basic.
what kind of question is that?
Have birds ever flown? Of course.
I don't now, but you know.
A simple one. All right, so that's the game. We played 2 rounds. Now, I might cut out some of these topics, but it's time for politicsy. Politics. Yeah. Why, y'all? First of all, let me just say this. My auntie watched the show, and she told my mama Jared was drunk as hell.
Auntie, no, she's not.
I was like, no, I was not. What are you talking about?
What you mean?
Okay.
And why you calling, Auntie? You supposed to be cool.
Right.
Don't say
So,
nothing.
okay. The first topic in politics is that the Republicans are trying to change the education system. First of all, they're trying to ban teaching about slavery, and also they've taken Black people, Native American history, and women out of social studies.
You want to know how I feel about that?
Talking about bonnets.
I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked.
I was going to say, if you want to know how I feel about that, it just does not sound like anything new. It's whitewashed just like all of history.
Yeah.
It's whitewashed like all of religion. It's whitewashed like all of politics. It's whitewashed like all of pop culture. It's whitewashed like all of America. Everything that has to do, you know what I'm saying? The biggest thing about this society, when you control the flow of information and knowledge, you control how the world looks. And when you take a group of people and you strip them from everything that relates to their identity, we were already lost. We know that. Luckily, as the years have progressed and in our generation and the generations that have gone on, we realized that we had to seek outside of school to learn our history. We had to find ways to connect culturally to our people. We had to find ways to celebrate our culture outside of the ones that were given to us naturally or pagan or any other way. So I am not surprised. Do I think that even if it passes, even if it goes through, even if it happens, we will be okay because we've been okay? And I think that ultimately the best thing about our generation and the generations after us is that white people are learning how to be allies.
Yeah.
And I always tell white people the best thing that you can do is correct your own people. When I say something to a white person, it's in one ear and out the other. But when you get on your own people, they receive it, they hear it, they see it. And you never want to look like a part of an outcast in your own group. Same way with black people. When you tell niggas to pull up their pants and stop acting like niggas, they're like, damn, all right, everybody else looking good, doing good. I look like the nigga of the group. All right, let me fix myself. It's the same way. So I think that the way that advocacy is going and the way that protests are going and the way that information is flowing, even if it did happen, we're going to be all right. I want to tell you the story, Jaren, because you didn't hear it. You didn't hear it. I told Celeste last week. I have my white friend. I won't say his name. And he's been a really good friend to me. When I met him maybe 2 years ago, we were listening to rap music and he dropped the N-word. I was like, yo, don't do that. And so, out of the 2 years, we hadn't had a problem. So we sitting outside on the fire pit, chilling with some other white people, and they're talking about Dave Chappelle's skits or whatever. And the fuck your couch nigga came up. And he said it. Now, mind you, it's been 2 years since we had this conversation. But the point is you let it slip out your mouth. And it really, really, really bothered me that it happened again. And it was simply because, one, I've already corrected you. But two, what do you think is in me would make you feel that comfortable to even say it? What would make you be so thoughtless about it? And what I came up with is you say it when I'm not around. You listen to it when I'm not around. You feel it when I'm not around. And honestly, I can't control what people say or do. I can't. But if you can't have enough cognitive awareness to be respectful around me, it will be a problem. And it almost got really, really physical because, and I try my best not to be this angry black man. I try to be.
And you're not. And you're
patient.
not.
And I'm not.
Everyone that knows you knows that that's not in your character.
White anger is never limited to their color. And we deal with white male rage on a daily basis. People die.
His response was, his initial response was, why can you say it, but I can't say it? And right then and there, I said, that's not the question you want to ask me. I said, I said, you my friend. I consider you my friend. We've been good. That can't be what you want to start this conversation off with me about. And it was, I tried to give some saving grace because we've been drinking. And to be honest with you, it was kind of like he said it, and it was almost like, I fucked up. He knew he fucked up, but instead of just falling on your sword and saying, I fucked up, and apologizing and moving on from it, you tried to defend it. And that's what the fuck white privilege is. And that's what the fuck is happening overall with them wanting to take things out. Instead of just admitting that history has been, we've omitted history, we've lied about it, we've doctored it, we've tried to make it this way. Instead of just saying that, they want to stand in the fact that it's fucked up, and instead of owning that. But what's going to happen is eventually every empire falls. Eventually people going to start knocking shit over. And what's crazy is it's these white people who doing it. It's the white people who storming the capitals. It's not us.
Yeah. Do you know that that overseas they call us Babylon? They call this place Babylon.
Well, it is,
and they say Babylon
is. This is Babylon.
Falling,
but I want to. This is biblical. What we're living in is Babylon.
Yeah.
And other countries are right when it comes to that.
Yeah.
We are living
but
in
I want
Babylon.
to say one thing about white people and their use of the N-word. Which, okay, I'm going to put it like this. Something in their head finds it to be a thing of coolness. I'm cool enough to say nigga. I'm cool enough. I'm down enough. I'm cool enough with the people to say nigga. Mm-hmm. I feel like if you pronounce the word bigger, you ain't saying nigga. Because that ain't how you talk. That's not how you talk on a regular basis. Cognitively, that's not how you speak. So if we say we're what we really are saying is nigger, but we're not using the hard R because of the dialect and the slang in which we speak. So we took nigger and turned it into nigga. But you, white person, say everything else with a hard R. But now all of a sudden you come around with this word and it's got an AH. That's not how you speak. So it's disingenuous for you to come to me and say, "Oh, I'm just down. I'm cool." No, we not. You ain't gonna never be that cool. You ain't gonna never be that cool because it's not a cool factor. It has nothing to do with you being cool. And if it didn't have something to do with you being cool, you wouldn't have said it.
Facts. It wasn't even about the semantics with me. Whether it was the hard R, because what I've learned throughout the years, I'm a social person. I'm a friendly person, and I have friends from all different races, ethnicities, socioeconomic statuses. Everybody is attracted to me, and I don't know why, because I'm an asshole. But for some reason, I attract people, and so it's given me the patience to learn how to deal with people. And it used to be me wanting to fight or lash out in anger, but I choose to allow moments to be educational moments, teaching moments. And I've learned to give people grace before I completely lose my fucking mind. And so it's like, let me correct you before I pop you in your mouth. Yeah. Because I feel like you gotta, you know what I'm saying? That's how I was raised.
I've been there.
The first time I did something, my mom was gonna have a conversation with me and let me know this is not appropriate. But the second time it happened, hell was gonna break loose, and you knew what was gonna happen. It bothered me because it's not about the semantics. It's about the fact that you could ever feel comfortable enough around me to say it. Nothing in you should ever feel comfortable enough, and that makes me want to readdress how I even interact with you. Because if you can feel that comfortable, like rap music is rap music. I'm around it. I like it. You like it. Whatever. Skip over the part. That's cool. It's about the awareness, and it's about the appreciation. And I just found that it was a lack of respect, and it made me side eye him. We had a conversation, and we moved on from it. It's still a little tense for me, but I'm not gonna walk around and hate. But he knew because shit escalated. I can't say it on the internet because I don't promote violence. But shit escalated, and I got them together.
Because I've experienced this with multiple white people. And that is that they think if they're cool enough, they can say it without the hard R.
I agree.
And I had an experience where I told Celeste, like I was in the hospital, right? And the lady, we all sitting down talking, whatever. And the lady, she said some nigga. And everybody was like, and she was like, she looked at me and she was like, well, you know how it is when you from the hood and you da 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 da. I said, I'm from Germantown. What you talking about? I'm like Germantown. What the fuck they got to do? And later on, this same woman called me and a friend of mine who was in the hospital with me nigger bitches. It went from AH to ER. And I say that to say, if you can come out of your mouth at all, I believe it can come out with the hard R. Some people find a difference between that, but I don't find no difference between that, especially if you don't pronounce any other word with an AH at the end, but nigga.
If you don't have to not say it with the ER, then that means that you clearly understand that you shouldn't be saying it at all.
Exactly.
If you have enough logic, it's the justification for me. Motherfuckers want to justify it. They want to say, I didn't say it with the A. They want to say, well, if you can say it, then I can say it. They want to say that, oh, it's in the song. They want to say what they want to say.
They're trying to justify it. They're trying to justify it, but there is no justification for it to some people. Now, it is some people who have allowed them to say it. That's why they feel so comfortable, because there are some people who allow that.
White people have never been told.
And they should have never gave their ass
White people have never been told they could not have something. They've never been denied access to something. So the concept of this is completely new to them, and their first reaction is always going to be to justify it because they think that equitableness is a right. They think that I can say what I want. They can mouth off. They can tell their moms to get the fuck out of their room. They can actually speak to a manager. They can behave any kind of way that they want, and nobody's ever told them that they cannot. So they've never been denied access to it. And unfortunately, our predecessors of generations, they called them that as a form of disrespect. And we've in our later generations have turned it into something that we can use.
We've adopted it.
However we use it. The point is, they thought that they could adapt with it too.
Yeah. But that's not the case. I'm
gonna get mad.
I'm gonna let Celeste go, and then I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
No, you're completely right, Rashad. I swear. Different languages, all that. But the only thing I was going to say was just how Black people are never able to grieve because they're so busy apologizing and trying to be so compassionate or just understanding to white people's ignorance. And there was something I read about that, and that spoke gratitude to me because I was like, damn, that's the truth. We're so busy trying to show gratitude to people that are so ignorant to the fact that the world that the U.S. within itself was built on so much racism, the educational system, everything from blacklining to stereotypes to just Black people couldn't even, you may have the money, but you can't own your own home. You know what I mean? There's so many things that we have been faced with, our ancestors that were faced with the past 60, 80, 100 years. We feel so obligated to be compassionate with white people and just be understanding, like, oh, well, your ancestors didn't know, or that we have to excuse or forget about our ancestors or our own personal pains, that we just, it's like, oh, well, we have to pacify everybody. It's like the nanny, the Black nanny. The black
Yeah.
woman, you got your own baby at home. You need to be breastfeeding and taking care of, but you're breastfeeding the white woman's baby and making sure the white woman's baby has all the nutrients and everything that it needs to be able to survive and be the best that it can be. So your own child gets the last of
We're
your breast milk.
consistently neglecting ourselves, and you
Neglecting ourselves.
in the way that we view mental health. We don't know how to take care of ourselves because we have always had to rise up.
Taking care of
We've always had to
everyone.
we're always expected to see the other perspective.
Yeah.
And I don't like to use this
We're
phrase.
so
We have to
considerate.
learn how to talk white,
Black
act
people
white,
are
be
so
white.
considerate of
I
everyone
mean,
else
It's draining. It is
because we
fucking.
get it. We get it.
yeah.
That's why I can never condemn a black person for acting or reacting because our black experiences are completely different. You know what I'm saying? I grew up a preacher's kid. I grew up in, you know what I'm saying? I grew up with a different upbringing. So the way that I see the world and who I am as a person, I've learned how to be able to stand in myself, but also be able to support my brothers and sisters for being themselves. I'm never going to tell you, you know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to keep you out of jail or keep you out of harm's way or, you know what I'm saying, not get to a really bad place. But who am I to tell you somebody? Because honestly, I be feeling like I want to slap the fuck out of people all the time. But do you know how rare it is for me to graduate from high school, to make it to college, to graduate from college, to get a master's degree, to be one of two males to go to the Peace Corps and the only male of color, to be the only half breed there, to move to California? Like I've created legacies within my own family lineage. So I have to think differently and move differently because I appreciate my journey.
Yeah.
Because I tell you, we all want to slap the fuck out of somebody all day, every day.
This is my only thing, and I'm gonna be done when I say this, because I tell people, because I noticed that not y'all, but I noticed that a lot of black people really care what white people think about them. And what I tell people is they didn't like you since you got off the boat. They didn't like you when you was taking off your hat and saying boss. They didn't like you when you was cleaning their drawers. They didn't like you when you was bathing them. They didn't like you when you that. So any excuse to not like you is an excuse to not like you. And they have always had an excuse to not like you. You're black. You're a cow. You're not a real person. You're not human. Oh, well, now you're human, but you're not good enough because you're illiterate. No, okay, now you're literate. All right, so now you're not good enough because da 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 da. Now, even though we peddling poison into your community, y'all smoked it. So you're bad. We gave you the crack, but you smoked it.
I don't know.
So you
I don't know
bad.
how hard it's going to be on edited or not, but I do want to create a space to say that I don't think all white people are the same.
Oh no. I
And
definitely do.
no, and that's not
all.
necessarily
Just
disagreeing.
general.
I'm just
Just
I
general.
I did want to say kind of create that narrative to say that we don't none of us think that way. Like we know
No.
they're good and bad people, and we know that history's fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
You say history's fucked up.
I like to go into any situation giving people the same opportunity, regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I let me tweak that a little bit. I can like white people. I don't trust white people. That's just what history has shown me. You could be as
Corey
friendly
just
as
had
you
the same conversation.
you can be as friendly as you want to. We can be as cool as we want to, but I will always have a level of distrust because that's what happened to the Indians.
Because think
That's
about it.
Americans.
Think,
They
if you
fed
think
you,
about
they
it.
killed them. I can't trust you.
Yeah, if you take
I hate it. I hate it.
if you took a group of people and this one group of people went around the whole world with the same plot and the same lies and the same agenda, get the gold, get the money, tell them they heathens, give them Bibles, and leave. Like that was the they went across
And
the
leave.
globe with this
And leave.
and like they went
And leave.
across the missionaries, quote unquote, went across the world with this. They went around the world with this. So that means Polynesians. They saw them with their titties out, heathens. Africans, they saw them with their titties out, heathens. Native Americans, they saw them with their titties out, heathens. Hand them a Bible. Where are the kill them? Get them sick. Where's the gold? It was all a plot based on lies.
And
So
and the
it
sad
is
part
not
is a
right
lot of
that
them
you
didn't
can't
even touch
trust.
certain continents or countries. The Black Moors had been there before most of all of them had been there. So it's
That.
just like you didn't discover anything. You came
Yeah,
upon things that had already been discovered and established. So you had to figure out a plot and a way to overtake these people because you knew they were already smarter than you because they already conquered or not even conquered. They already discovered these beautiful places. So how can we do better than them? How can we overtake them? It's real sick.
Have y'all
It's
ever
real
watched a
sick.
documentary called Guns, Germs, and Steel?
what's it
Who?
called?
Guns, Germs, and Steel.
No.
Oh,
I think if you ever get a chance, watch that documentary. It is one of the most prolific documentaries that talk about how Europeans brought guns, germs, and steel throughout the whole world.
that
How,
was,
how
and
they,
didn't I just say
yeah, no,
that?
you did. Like
Say that.
that's what made me think of it. They came in befriending people, wanting to know the culture, came in with curiosity, and then they took that shit, and then they killed everybody.
This the same.
Mhm.
It's the same. It's a playbook.
And then
This
they paint us
you
as
know
savages.
like the Water Boy where he had that green playbook. They had
Mhm.
a playbook,
They
and
paint us
it
as
was the
savages.
same
They paint us
thing.
as sexual deviants. They paint us as thugs. They paint us as drug abusers. They paint us as lower class. Like we are painted
Who
as
need to be
everything that we
saved?
know came from everybody else but them.
The next topic and final topic for Politipsy tonight is the vaccine incentives. And they've been getting crazy. They handing out weed and burgers and
Lottery
Vacations,
millions of
tickets.
dollars and
uh,
racks. They
college,
hand out, they giving you whatever.
tuition.
Yeah, they on that TI. You can have whatever you like. Just take this shot. Like, I'm kind of like, it's weird. It's
It's
getting a
weird
little weird.
because I
For real.
don't trust shit. America's a business. The people who come to America and the people who have business, ain't nobody giving shit for free. And if it's for free, it's a promotional deal that they getting something on the back end for. So I don't trust it. I'm not doing it. I'm not getting it. I will wear my mask and I don't care because I don't care. I simply don't care. I'm gonna just wear my mask. And you know what's really been bothering me lately? People who've been pressing getting the vaccine, who have the vaccine. If you are vaccinated, then me not being vaccinated shouldn't bother you. But the fact that it does is concerning and alarming to me. And furthermore, it's already been shown that the vaccines don't keep you from not getting COVID, which means that it's pointless.
What you
So what
want?
y'all injecting in your body? It's
So
like, how are you? Why are you okay?
the
I
only
see
the
some
only
people.
reason I would give I'm gonna hold out until they wipe away my fucking student loans. You wipe away my student loans, I will get a motherfucking shot in a heartbeat.
I might.
I
I
just
might.
we have this conversation. Me and Celeste have this
Um,
conversation all the time because I I'm in the healthcare field. So we've had, discussions about vaccines and stuff before, and I was pro vaccine. But when it comes to any hot on the streets medicine, I'm just not with it. Like I'm not like, oh, this the new popping shit. I got the Moderna. Like I don't know
I got the
nothing about
Johnson
Moderna.
and Johnson. What's good?
I don't know nothing about Moderna. Johnson and Johnson got more lawsuits than motherfucking liar, and I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight. I'm straight. And that's not to say that nobody else should get vaccinated. If you want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated.
That's
I
your
really don't
right. I
Please,
support
if
it. That's
that's
your
what you
right.
want, get it.
That's your right.
do
If you
that.
want a
I
vaccine,
don't talk shit
absolutely
about
get it.
anybody. I support
Do
people
not feel no type
doing
of way.
what's necessary for their health and what they believe will help them. And I am not against it. And honestly,
Because you don't know who people are
Yes.
surrounded by. Their grandparents could be super high risk. You know, it's so many different
I'm not
equations and
against the vaccine.
situations.
I don't. It's just not convincing enough for me. And
Yeah.
the fact that so much they're trying to like give so much free shit that just don't make sense to me. Like incentivizing vaccines does not make sense to me. And
Yeah.
and
It's weird.
people does not make sense to me. And trying to shame people into it does not make sense to me. And if I want to tell y'all a little personal story real quick. So before I got into Peace Corps, I had to like get my vaccine card and show it to them. I realized that I didn't have my hepatitis B shot. I had one dose of hepatitis B, one dose of C, and like the ones that you get when you're kids. I never was fully vaccinated in anything.
And you've
I had
been
to get all
surviving.
my vaccines before I could leave the country.
Mm-hmm.
And so what that ultimately told me was my body understood the assignment. My body did what it's supposed to do. I'm okay. I didn't die. I was fine. Now that's not to say that I didn't need it. That's not to say that I wouldn't have been better off without it, or that I won't have foreseeable issues, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. Not a scientist. But what I can say is I'm okay and I'm alive before I had it. So I'm not too worried about a vaccine that people trying to give me free burgers for and free lottery tickets for.
And it's weird because like they really like the way they're going about it is so bizarre. It feels, if you see some of the like on footage, it feels like something out of a parody. It's like, are you eating French fries right now? Really, bro? You gonna give me chicken and beer if I get vaccinated? You gonna give me
Free
some
Uber
weed?
rides.
Y'all giving all the like, inner city shit. Like y'all giving out weed and beers.
Y'all gonna give me a whole zip?
Yeah, y'all finna give me some shake. Y'all finna give me some shake and bake if I
Free.
go
I just
for
Googled.
free.
If
I go get these shots.
This should say free Krispy Kreme donuts, vaccination card laminated, Ubers and Lyfts, restaurant discounts, cash, marijuana. Like y'all out here really giving niggas free donuts to get vaccinated. Do you think I love Krispy Kreme that damn much to go get a shot?
I am not anti-vaccinations.
Right.
I am all about science, and I am all about history and proven facts. It has been 1 year of us dealing with COVID. Yes, we have seen a lot of deaths. I understand that. But at the same time, I would like to see results. I would like to see, a little bit
They
of
didn't.
age,
I just feel like it's
Don't do enough testing.
like
progression.
tape and glue, and I don't feel like it's a real resolution. And it may be, but I need to see more data. I need to see more studies, and I think I need to see the longevity of the outcomes of it before I can decide that I'm going to put something in my body. And beyond that, I think that it's hella trash that they are trying to incentivize this and then shame people into doing it. And I think I don't know if y'all have ever heard of like the group herd kind of method.
Oh, absolutely.
But the group herd method is just kind of like if there are 1,000 people in a room, if there are 1,000 people in a room and 995 of these people have gotten vaccinated and 5 people have not been vaccinated, that is going to eradicate the COVID. It would just won't exist because the population, the overall population isn't strong enough to keep the virus alive.
Yeah, herd immunity.
So yeah, it's the herd immunity. So again, my whole mindset is just like if everybody else is doing it, then I don't have to because you should feel protected. If nothing, if I never get it, you should feel safe. If you don't feel safe, why the fuck would you get it? It makes no sense.
Exactly.
That's the whole point behind
That's
it.
my point.
This is what does not make sense to me. Herd immunity, herd immunity. That's the whole point. If I get the shot, why am I afraid if somebody else doesn't have a mask on? And the reason why is because with this COVID shot, you can get the shot, but it does not mean you're immune. It does not mean that your side effects are less than. You can have the same side effects as someone that does not have the shot as someone that does. You can still be just as contagious as someone that doesn't have the shot as someone that does.
So
That alone says enough for me to say, well, I'll let the rest of the cattle get the shot and we'll see what happens. Because why should I get it if I can still get it? My side effects will be the same and I'm no less contagious. Those are the three strikes for me. For
Well,
me,
what else am I putting in my body besides that?
exactly. What is in it? What is in it?
If
and
you're
And
selling
stuff
me
that
on a
is
vaccine
in it,
that doesn't,
you can look up the stuff that is in it, and it's people who like have done videos exposing the stuff that's in it and talking about the stuff that's in it, and those videos will get taken down. And I find it everything is just so doody 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 doody. It's like weird. Like don't hand me weed and chicken and tell me to go put something in my body, something foreign. And it's just like if it ain't foreign, it's boring. Like why we gotta do
you got
this.
some chicken and some watermelon if you go
Yeah,
ahead and
we
get the
got some
vaccine.
chicken, watermelon, and weed. I know you niggas love the weed and beer, don't you?
And
Looks
y'all
like
like
I
gambling,
got
don't you?
40.
You give you some scratch offs, a
Yeah,
Powerball, you could be a millionaire.
all of that. Think about who that this type of stuff caters to, and it's really like,
But
and
before
a
this
lot of
vaccine
people
came
are
out, what
saying,
was they saying? The vaccine before the vaccine came out, everything was about all you have to do is wear your mask and wash your hands and maintain social distance. Well, guess what? That shit still make the fuck sense.
mm-hmm.
it
Uh,
does. It does. And it
so
does.
if that's what the fuck I gotta do, that's what the fuck I gotta do. And honestly, I get uncomfortable not wearing my mask at this point. Like at first I was irritated by it, and sometimes I still am. But ultimately, when I walk into a store and I don't have my mask on, or I'm like around a bunch of people, I be feeling a little
Something's
leery.
missing. Something's
Yeah,
missing.
like so it's like if you're gonna be vaccinated and you still gotta wear a mask, and you still gotta maintain social distance, and you still gotta wash your hands. All of this is pointless if nothing changes. The world is back open. The vaccine is out. Some people take it, some people don't. But guess what? Motherfuckers still going to these concerts. They hopping on these motherfucking flights. They take their black ass into work, and they still gonna be around people. All I know is give me about a year. Give me a year. Let me see if some cow ears come growing out. And if it ain't, then I'm gonna be vaccinated.
I
My
just
mama took
want to
the vaccine.
see
I hate
if
that part.
I just want to
Just
see
give
if
me a
people
year.
gonna become infertile. Because that's what I'm hearing is going on with this. Like motherfuckers is really they is trying to keep y'all from having babies. They pushing this in the black community because they don't want y'all to have babies. And a lot of stuff that is done in this country is to keep a white majority.
I was
So
gonna say
I
they've been doing that for a
I ain't
long
gonna
time.
I ain't
So
even gonna get deep into that. But a
Nah,
white
I mean
majority is
that's
the
why there's so
mission.
many Planned
population
Parenthood
control,
clinics in
Population
war
black
control.
drugs,
neighborhoods because they don't
population
want black
control,
people to
war
have
drugs,
babies. So
poverty, all of these things have like throughout the history, American history. If it ain't been one thing, it's been another to kind of suppress black people. And if they're not experimenting on us, trying to figure out how to like get our melanin and get our talents and get our genetics, everybody, the whole premise of being black in America is to love everything about being black except people. And when it comes to population control, this is another form because Black people were dying at an expeditious rate. I can't say it right now. In comparison to any other people, because of lack of health care, because of lack of understanding when it comes to symptoms and pain and how symptoms present themselves in people of color, and because there weren't resources available to them in neighborhoods. People were dying simply because of that. And now this vaccine is coming out, and I guarantee you they didn't have time to really even run studies and tests on people in general, but I guarantee you the sample size did not include majority of Black people. It did not include majority of Black women. Our mortality rates are high, and fucking we have high blood pressure, we have cancer, we have all these other things, and we don't know how these shots will impact.
For Tipsy Topics. Yeah, Tipsy Topics. Okay, so the first topic is, what is the funniest thing you've ever seen? Celeste.
That's hard.
I'm thinking about stuff. That's why I'm holding my mouth.
I was gonna say we've had too many memories together. So, do you want to say it? You can say it.
I got a couple. They with you. Okay, go ahead. What is it? What's the funniest thing you've seen?
I don't know. I can't think because I've had so many funny memories. I'm like, send me some and I'll approve. Because I have one in my head.
What's the one in your head?
So it's kind of touchy because it's one of my friends' boyfriends that I didn't know passed away recently in the college town that I lived in. Mm-hmm. But I guess I think about it because I was like, when I found out he passed away, I was like, the first memory that came to my head was like them at my bar, and they were having so much fun at Thirsty Turtle. Okay, Rashad knows all about Thirsty Turtle. Thirsty Turtle was the shit. So the fish bowls, they said, make me a strong bomb ass fish bowl. So I was like, okay, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I'm say less. And I'll never forget, it was like a Friday or a Saturday night. I want to say it was like a Friday night. And they were sitting in the same chair together. And like out of nowhere, I heard this boom. And they both just like fell back in the chair. And I was like, I looked over the bar like, hold on, what? I was like, I looked around the bar. I was like, hold on, what just happened? And then I looked over the bar, and they were just both on the floor, and they were both laughing, and it was just like, it was the funniest thing ever. And I was just like, I cannot believe this is happening right now because I made their drinks, but you all told me that you wanted it to be a certain way, so I made it a certain way.
You asked for it.
Yes, I gave it to you. So I guess
funniest thing.
That memory gave me a little bit of peace. Like, I have good memories. I have so many memories of them together, but that was just one of the memories that I was just like, okay, that was a funny ass night because my heart dropped. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, okay, hold on. Is everybody around the bar okay? And then I look over the bar and they're on the floor. They're on the floor just laughing, and like, it was hilarious. You had to be there, but you know, it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, I have good memories. And I know how much she loved him, and I know how much he loved her. So that's what makes it even more beautiful.
What about you, Rashad?
I was sitting here thinking, and I can't. It's again so many memories, but I'm trying to think of this year. The only thing that I could really think of that's fucking hilarious. So I went to Mexico for my birthday. Went to Tulum.
I noticed.
It's two things that really stick out to me. Um, the first thing is, all right, so we're sitting on a golf cart, and one of our homegirls is like, and she had to use the restroom. So we're waiting on her. She comes out. She's walking towards the door. We're sitting on the golf cart, just chilling. And next thing you know, we just hear a boom, and this motherfucker ran straight into the glass door. And that shit was the funniest thing that I had ever seen in my life. I was in tears for about a good 20 minutes. And the ironic part about it was the door, because it's, of course, doors have two doors. The other door was open, and she walked right into the glass door. So I'm just like tripping, dying laughing, and I tried to hold my composure. But one thing about me is, if shit funny, I cannot. I'm gonna make sure you good, but I was crying laughing. Uh, but the
I was
other
there
one
for that.
was, so we get on a yacht, right? We on
Mhm.
the yacht, and everything is good. Actually, everything is not good. My homeboy lost 3 flippers in the ocean trying to swim, fighting for his life. And then after we get on the boat, everybody that made it into the water and kept going, we did our thing, kept swimming, lived our life. We get back on the boat, and the weather is now tumultuous, and it's real rocky, right? So I'm sitting next to my homie, and the man's was not okay. So I like literally dive to get the trash can, hold it, console him. He's good.
Oh shit.
I'm chilling, laying down, got the towel over my face. All of a sudden, I see red shit on the floor, on the ground. So I'm like, oh shit, did this girl just like have her period everywhere? Like I'm freaking out because I didn't see what happened. I just like rose up to chaos and red on the floor. So I'm like freaking out. And then next thing you know, she started projectile vomiting. So I'm like, oh, okay, she's throwing up too now. This is all bad. It's just like both of them were fighting for their fucking life on this boat. And the people were trying to cook our food, but they couldn't make the food because the weather was so bad. Like they were in the
It was
bottom trying to
bad.
like cut up shit, get us together. So we hadn't eaten. We had been on a ferry boat and then the yacht and then swimming in the ocean. The ocean was salty as shit. We hadn't eaten anything all day. So motherfuckers was literally fighting for their life. So I would say that walking into glass doors and projectile vomiting was the funniest shit to me. Or not even to me, but that I've seen this year.
I had
Yes.
to like
I
look
was
this
there.
up. I had to look this up because I had to show y'all. You remember this? Can you see this?
That's you, Neely. Is that Shayna? That's I see Neely in the back with the pink on. Hold on.
I wish you would have said
And then that's you with the other pink on. Hold on. This is Jaren in the front with the bandana. Did you have a bandana on?
When I hump that teddy bear, every time I see that shit, I die laughing. Every time I see myself raping a teddy bear, I die. I die. And that's not the only thing I could think of. Cause I was literally thinking of so much shit. But then I was like, bruh, me, hump that teddy bear.
there's some
I have
moments
to
I
send
never
it to
tell
y'all.
about. I've
I'm
had some funny moments.
Huh?
I said I had some funny moments and I could never share them with anybody. They so
Man,
embarrassing.
when I found that video, I said, "Oh my God, what is wrong with us?" Ooh,
You
boy.
gotta send that separate video to Rashad so he can see that because that was next level in the best way
What you
though.
talking about? Talking about me?
Yes, send him that
Raping the
video
teddy bear.
separately because it's hilarious.
Yeah,
What's
I'm
the next
sending it
question?
to y'all. Okay, my bad.
I
Let me
got
go.
work in the morning.
I know.
Work in the morning.
I'm going.
In the morning.
Okay. What's the best food you've ever tried? Rashad.
Mm. Again, 2-part answer. I'm gonna make it quick. If I'm giving you a delicacy, when I lived in Samoa, I had barbecue bat, and I was not fucking with it. I was not fucking with eating barbecue bat. but that shit was fire. Kind of give you a feel of jerk chicken. It's kind of like, I don't know, rubbery, umami, kind of tender. I don't know. This shit was good though. It was barbecued and it was bad, and I ate it, and I lived to tell the tale.
It was
So
delicious.
it was all right with me. One thing that I've eaten this year, again going back to Mexico, we had some fish tacos, and when I say it was like better than sex.
I'm mad I ain't get to go on
Better
this trip.
than all.
Throw up and all.
It was better. It was better than so many things that I've had in my life that I would do over and over again, and I would give them all up just to like have those fish tacos just one more time. They were so fucking good. I don't know what kind of fucking Mexican crack was on it, but I won't.
Them hoes are.
I'm
I
done.
got two.
They were next level.
And they both come from Jackie. Because Jackie don't play my mama. Her etouffee, which we're going to make for you the next time you come out here, so
I was gonna say, wait a second.
She turned up.
Don't make me text her.
She
let her know.
She turned up. Okay. And spoon cake, which you already know.
Oh, the spoon cake, baby.
Spoon cake.
What is spoon cake?
Spoon cake is a yellow cake, and you poke holes in it. Then you put creams in it, like you pour.
I almost don't want you to tell them the recipe. But
I'm telling them how. You see, I said creams. I didn't say what kind of creams.
All right, we'll talk about it later, but I can tell it's fire.
Yeah, it's yellow cake. You poke holes in it, pour creams over it, certain creams. Then you put whipped cream on it. Then you put pineapples on it. And then you dip with a spoon, the big spoon, and that's how you got to eat it, with a spoon. Because it's wet and it's... Anyway.
And the big grape too, though. That and the big...
Mr. Grape.
Mr. Grape.
Mr. Grape. Busting heads too. Mr.
Mommy
Grape.
be cutting up.
But I was going with just two because I know I can go day with Jackie. Jackie, she cuts up. She cuts up in the kitchen. And I don't know if I ever made my hot honey chicken for you, Celeste. My chicken thighs.
No, you haven't.
I'm gonna make them for y'all when I'm out on the west side. I'm gonna make them for y'all. Y'all have my hot honey chicken. It's good. Okay, so you, Celeste, what's your favorite? What's the best food you've ever tried?
The best food I ever tried was, I still think about it to this day, when I went to Dubai. I went to this Pakistani restaurant. And it was a traditional restaurant because when you walk in, they have different like doorways or like areas that you can sit. Because the women, of course, the women wear, they're like sacred. They cover up and things like that, and they're family oriented. So it was traditional. We went into like a room and we sat down, and then you have like this layout, and it was like this. There was like this chicken, like this baked chicken with this like stewed potatoes and vegetables, and then it had these like sauces. You all know I love like, I'm a sauce whore. So I want anything spicy, anything that's gonna make it better. It was already fire as hell. Like the chicken was already cooked perfectly, and the vegetables, but it was like these different spices, like, but they were saucy that you put on it with like the naan bread. Oh my God.
She looked like it changed her life.
I know, right? She having flashback. I saw the bubble. I saw the thought bubbles coming out from your head with the cloud.
I have pictures.
All right.
Jaron, one thing you don't know about me is Celeste will tell you, I'm literally the pickiest eater you'll ever meet.
So the bad chicken, not the bad chicken,
the
barbecue bat.
Samoa really, really got me out of my comfort zone because I don't eat condiments. I don't I don't eat a lot of things. Like I'm a very picky and particular eater, and she likes to make fun of me about a lot of things.
He
But
doesn't like sauces. He doesn't like ketchup. He doesn't like ranch, anything like that. If it's blue cheese on hot wings, he'll eat it. But like ranch, ketchup, barbecue
You
sauce,
don't put
he's not like
ranch?
I'm going to dip my chicken in something. Like, no, I'm going to dip my hot wings in ranch. I mean, in blue cheese, but he's not like a ranch or barbecue or honey mustard person. Like,
mhm.
it has to be particular. It has to be like
I
them chicken
don't like
hot
soul
When
wings.
you
food.
taste my hot honey chicken, it's gonna make you think about sauces differently.
I
I
don't
have
like
to try
I
it.
don't like soul food.
Oh, he doesn't
It's
eat greens.
I don't
He
eat
doesn't
greens.
like. He don't like greens. He don't like watermelon. He's like the most unblack person, like traditional black person. Like I love greens.
first of all,
I
you'll
cook
like my greens. You'll like Jackie greens, and you'll like my
and
greens.
will and
Everybody
will.
say that. I'm not a fan, but carry on.
It's a texture thing for him.
It is.
But
But
even with watermelon,
But
because
what I'm
I feel
saying
like
is
you
I'm
can't
grown
go
because
wrong. Well, you have
I
to pick
try
the
new
right
shit.
water. But
I try new shit now that I would not have tried before I lived out in the country.
I'm
I
gonna
give you
make
that.
my chicken thighs. I'm gonna make my hot honey chicken, and everybody that's ever had it loves it. I will make you some Alfredo if you like Alfredo,
Love
and
it.
everybody who's ever had my Alfredo loves it.
And honey hot
And
are my favorite wings. Like honey hot, like
Yeah.
yeah,
that's my favorite.
that's
So
where I got
I
it
would
from.
fuck
It's
with it.
like honey hot chicken. It's like honey hot sauce on chicken thighs.
Yeah,
It's
no,
so good.
I would
Perfect.
fuck with that.
Okay, so the last question is, what do you like most about yourself, Rashad?
Sharon, what do you like most about yourself?
What do I like most about myself?
I want you to go first.
This little thinker up here. I like my brain. I like my mind. I like the way I think of things.
Right on.
And yeah,
Am I next?
yeah, you next.
It's the same as my mind, but I think that what I would call a spiritual gift almost is the fact that I'm able to introspectively look at self. I think it's part of a gift, but it's also a part of my ego. I hate being wrong. I hate feeling wrong. I hate having to backtrack, backpedal, apologize. So I'm really good at being mindful about what I say and being particular about how I say it, and really being able to kind of own my part of something in any situation. Like, for instance, when I get upset, the first thing I ask myself is, do I have a right to feel the way I feel, or am I mad because I'm not getting my way? And 9 times out of 10, it's my ego telling me I'm mad because I'm not getting my way. People aren't talking to me the way I want to be talked to. People aren't treating me or doing what I want them to do. So then I then process the fact that I feel that way. My feelings are valid. I deserve to feel the way I feel. And then I have a conversation about it, and my ego is not in it, and I can receive how people feel, and I can tell people how I feel without it getting to a toxic or combative place. And I
Mhm.
can also just choose to say, I ain't even got to touch that. I don't even have to have a conversation about it. But I like owning my shit. So that's my favorite thing.
That's good. That's good. It's a good quality. Okay, Celeste, what do you love most about yourself?
I don't know. That's hard. And it's
There's
not
so
like
much
I
to love,
shouldn't
my
say.
darling.
It's just more so it's just hard. Um Off the top of my head, I feel like it's the worst thing about me, but it's one of the best qualities about me is that I can find the beauty in anybody. I can find the best things in anybody. And that's just me being true to who I am and not just trying to like I don't want anything to just sound good. Like I legitimately it's one of my biggest flaws, but one of the
No, I know you.
best
So
things
Yeah, I
no.
know
about
you too. I agree with that.
Yeah. I agree.
y'all like
Yeah.
I can find the beauty in the best in anybody, no matter who you are, no matter what kind of person you are, I can find the best in you and find the beauty in you. So
Mhm.
I agree with that. I don't know about you, Jaron, but I and there was a point in my life when I was hella toxic in the era of Celeste and I's friendship, and the style and grace that she handled me with is impressive because I'm still around. And
I mean,
found good things in me when I didn't deserve good things to be found in me.
me and this girl been friends for 20 some years, and I'm trying to atone for the behavior I had in the early years of our friendship. You know what I'm saying? So, but I was a not an abused child, like my mama was abusing me or anything like that, but I had certain people in my life that were kicking me, and I would kick Celeste. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's just what it was. But I wasn't just kicking Celeste; I was kicking everybody.
I never, I
on
never.
smoke. I had smoke for everybody because I was getting smoke. You know what I'm saying? I was so abused in the house that everybody that wasn't in the house can get it. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like what that was. But I've since, I hope, atoned for
Well,
my,
that's what I was gonna say. I'm thinking in my head, I forgot about all that because we've been friends literally like 21 years.
yeah.
So if
That's
there's
crazy.
anyone that I know, or if there's anyone that knows me inside and out, is her. And so for me, when you said atoned, I was just like, I know you've always been a powerful force. You've always been a powerful person, and a force to be reckoned with because you speak with power and diction and knowledge. And so it's you, like, where I look at the way I look at you now is not what I see. Like, I don't remember you the way you remember yourself. You know what I mean? So when you say
I
I'm
mean, because
atoned, I'm like, yes, you are a force to be reckoned with. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't.
it's just because I know where I was. You know what
You
I'm saying? I know who I know the my own toxicities.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm aware of myself and the things that I'm capable of, and the ways that I'm capable of being. And that old me is still, I'm grown and it's still me, but I don't want that to be me. So I want to try different things. Like I was crying earlier, and I told her literally, I said, I'd rather cry right now than argue with you because there's just,
No,
because back in the day,
that's,
that's what I would have chose first was to
that's life
scrap.
though. Like we ultimately the things we do to people forget, but we know why we were the way that we were, which
Yeah.
makes it so much more uh, like memorable and also kind of like cringing and embarrassing. It's kind of like, damn, I was
Yeah.
toxic as fuck. And when you realize like why you acted the way you acted or did what you did, it's like I'm so ashamed of myself. And like, damn, you did that? Like I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Because they see past that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like she sees so much growth, and I see so much growth in myself, but I also know that those are ways I can easily slip back into. And I just always am more now cognitive of not slipping back into those type of ways. Whereas,
You've made Celeste a better person like, and as a person for me, because I'm on her ass 24/7 about not being a punching bag.
Y'all both
Celeste,
are on my ass about
Celeste
everything.
takes so
It
much
makes me
shit
better
from
though.
everybody, and I be like, bruh, don't let them talk to you like that. Bruh, don't let them treat you like that. Bruh, don't let them take that shit from you. Bruh, don't let them, like, nah, you, like, I'm literally on her ass advocating for her, making sure that she knows that she does not have to deal with it. And, you know, I get that whatever your situation was, that was a part of her past, but that's a part of her strength now. And also, I just feel like it's a healthy version of overcoming something and still being able to maintain a friendship where she still has other relationships that need work, but you're an example of what can be better because it got better. And
Yeah, and
it takes work on both ends, but like I hate a bully. I hate people taking advantage of situations. I hate manipulative people. And this is coming from a person. Are we off the air? Can we stop now?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you guys for watching, and we hope to see you soon. And let us know what you thought about any of these topics. Again, follow our social media feeds and Patreon. Become a patron. We love you so much. Thank you for watching. If you watched this long, you are an angel.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you.